Side quest. I got a little delayed on my engine work here. I've got to replace the intake manifold and the glow plugs, and I got the wrong glow plugs. And apparently the right glow plugs are dealer only, and it's a Sunday and there's no dealerships in the Bay Area that are open in the parts department. So we're gonna do the brakes. So I've got new brakes for this. We're looking at I believe it's Stop Tech. I don't recall. Let's see. Boxes of parts everywhere. PowerStop. So I'm not sure what the fronts and the rears are yet. I'll find that out in a minute. But yeah. All right. So I just opened the boxes last night. Had it here for, I don't know, a week or so. But I got to get this done because there's so much to do before I got to leave on my camping trip. And since I can't work on the top end of the engine today, I get to do this today. All right. So step one is take off tires, which means jacks, jack stands, all that good stuff. So let's see, my jack is over here. Of course, it's being blocked right now because everything is being blocked right now. My life right now seems to be a state of emergency for everything. So, all right, here we go. The tire is off. You can see both tire and wheel are off. You can see my pad condition. Pads are pretty low. So this is 135,000 miles on this truck. So let's step this out just one bit. There we go. There's some ridges, but it's not so bad. I've got my hooks here for hanging my caliper. You'll see both sides there. So this side, you can see the ridge here is pretty good. And there's a little bit of a lip there, but truthfully, it's not that bad considering 135,000 miles. But again, you can see pads are pretty low. And I decided to go for Stop Tech or PowerStop, or I don't know who they are. Basically, I bought them through Northridge 4x4, I believe, using my, my Onyx off-road discount didn't apply for this because it wasn't high enough of a total to meet their threshold. That was totally bunk to find out, but whatever. So taking this guy off, I believe this is a 30. I'm pretty sure it's a 30. Pop this guy out, and then the bolt on the back side of the caliper, this one right here, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know how the camera angle right or not, but that bolt is a 21. I'm using a 1/2-inch drive with a short extension and an impact 21. So let's get this going now. I got pads and rotors here. I'm assuming these are the front pads because they're so large compared to the rears. PowerStop, obviously. They give you a great little brake pad bedding information, spring kit, caliper, God, I can't remember, boots there, and cups, and then pads, and a little bit of anti-squeal goo. So, okay, that's awesome. That works. Sounds like a step stool just fell in my garage. And these, I'm assuming these are the rotors for the front because, well, they're a little bit bigger than the rears, and that's just usually how they build them. So let's get these unboxed and ready. Pop out the retainer bolt and take off the caliper bolts, hang the caliper out of the way, take the rotors off, swap the pads out, get things cleaned up, slap it all back together. Helpful tip, you know, if you don't have somebody holding your brake for you, to go ahead and brake the torque on this. Otherwise the rotors just spin. Oh, here we go, and she's locked in, and that's it. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. There we go. Okay, yeah, I can do it one-handed. So yeah, just get yourself a pry bar, wedge it in, and it comes off nice and easy. Easy to break the torque. So get this little guy out. And it was a T30, I was correct. So I'll leave you over here. There we go. All right, and we're done with that. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Dull knife. Let's see what we got going on here. Yep. Drilled, slotted. These appear to be correct. And you can see with these guys here. So the inspection on the other side was pretty easy, but on this side, there's a slightly larger ridge right in here. And then with the calipers hung off here, you can see there's not much meat left. There is not much meat left on those pads. And when I pop those out, I'll show you a better view of that. But you can see I just got it hanging off the frame there. And there, the line is not kinked or anything. Everything's good. It's a good time to inspect your... this guy's kind of flopping around, but that really is just to try and keep dirt and grime out, but okay. So my U-joints, they feel fine. I do have new ball joints to do, and I can see them better now, but they look all right. And there's no play. Ooh, that camera was way off. There was no play in the unit bearing here. This feels good. The axle feels good. I don't feel any play in the ball joints. So that's good, but I do have new ball joints. I don't think I need to change them before this trip though. Things seem to be okay, but I really do want to try and get to the steering as soon as possible. Maybe I'll get it done today, I don't know, but I got the Steer Smart stuff to go in. But if you notice, my boots are all good. There's no cracking or anything on them, and it's the same on this side. So things look pretty good. There's very little flop in it, so I feel good. Maybe I bought the steering components prematurely, but regardless, yeah. That boot looks okay. There's no slop or flop happening in that either. Wow, this is actually looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy about this. So, yeah. All right. Okay. Good news. Fantastic. This side will need to come off too, but looking at the ball joints on this side, things look good. I tested it earlier for slop and there was none. Same thing on this side. Ball joints seem fine as well. Inspection wise, this all looks really good for 135,000 miles. Now granted, 135,000 miles, probably about 125,000 of those miles are freeway driven, you know, because this is a work truck. So yeah, things are looking good. Everything's back together. New pads, new rotors. With this PowerStop, I think it's PowerStop. Man, I wish I could get this stuff right. I always forget. Let me look at the box real quick. I'm pretty sure it says PowerStop. I'm really good at forgetting this type of stuff though. Yeah, PowerStop. There we go. PowerStop. So with this PowerStop brake kit, it's really straightforward. The rotor actually is labeled. It's labeled. So, you know, you can't mess things up. So if you notice, I did not replace the hardware here, and I didn't replace the boots. The boots are good. Everything is good. Everything is fine. It's the upside to living in California, I think. This guy's on. All the hardware's done and torqued. I just need to run some brake cleaner over this real quick to make sure I cut off any machining oil left over. So, but really, this is all you need to get the job done here. A 21 millimeter socket. I recommend 1/2 inch drive. Something to compress the pistons on the caliper. I just use, you know, a long throat C-clamp. Something to hold your calipers off with. I just happen to use that hole in the frame right there so it doesn't over tension the line, and a T30 Torx bit to get this guy. So 21s on the back for the bolts, and really that's all there is to it. This is a really simple, easy job anybody can do in their driveway with some pretty simple hand tools. Most people probably don't have the Torx, so those are cheap. You can get those anywhere. These are cheap. I think I got this at Harbor Freight on a clearance bin for $1.99. So you know it's not super high quality, but all I ever use this for is for calipers. So yeah, you know. Oh, and something to open the boxes with. Brakes are so easy, it's ridiculous. So this side's done. Now I just need to do the other, but the other's the same as this side, so why bother filming that? All right. I will show you the rear brakes once I'm done with the front. Front brakes are done. And now we're on to the back. So early on in the life of this Jeep, I made a mistake and left the e-brake on and drove around. And since it's a diesel, I didn't actually notice it. It was back when it was still all stock. So I am not surprised if I've got almost nothing left on these pads. So, doesn't look too good. So, yeah. So, I've been wanting to do these rear brakes for a while, but really didn't matter until the front brakes needed to be done. So, now it's time to get them done. And here we go. We're off to the races. We're looking at shoes that look okay, actually. They look okay. I feel a lot better. Oh, look at the reluctor ring and the sensor. All right. Okay. Feel way better about this. The shoes are in good shape. There's a little bit of wear there. Otherwise, it looks pretty good. So now we need to get this one on there. So here we are. This, on the rear, I did put new hardware in. One of the springs broke as I was releasing the brake pad. So, and that's probably from the heat of leaving the e-brake on while I drove downtown once. So, it's just a good idea to go ahead and replace that hardware. So new pads, new rotors. The e-brake shoes looked good. They looked fine. So that's all done. I could probably go in there and adjust the e-brake a little bit more so that I have more grab on it, but I think it's probably just fine. So this side's done. Now it's just time to do the other side. But since the other side is exactly the same as this side, I'm just gonna kind of shift away from that. However, I do want to make a side note here that the front is a 21 millimeter on the caliper bolts. On the rear, it's an 18 millimeter. And you probably want a BFH to get these rotors off because you are sliding them off a drum assembly. Other than that, that T30 is still the same right there. And again, I'm just using a C-clamp to compress the piston on the caliper. So really straightforward, really simple. Now it's on to the other side. All right, tires and wheels are on. Still have the sockets down there because I will need to torque these. So the same thing on this side as it was on the driver's side. The shoes looked fine. New hardware. And what else? Yeah, just new hardware and and then the new pads and rotors. The boots on the sliders looked just fine on the calipers. Everything looked good. I hung the calipers off of this bolt hole right there, or just chassis hole it looks like. I don't think it's actually for anything to mount into. All right, leaving off where we started. So the next step is you pull the seats forward. There's a couple bolts back down there. You pop those up, lift up the seat, the center console, and adjust the tension on the cable back there. Once that's done, you'll get this. Now you've got an e-brake again. So, yeah. All right. Now it's time to set her down on the ground, and yeah, torque the lug nuts, and we're done with the job. So that's the brakes, front and rear, on this is a 2021 Jeep Gladiator EcoDiesel Rubicon